We are in Martins Point. It is in Nova Scotia, right between Western Shore and Mahone Bay. You will see this unbelievable schoolhouse. It's got a great history, and right now it's got a great couple of people working their tails off in this festive season. Aidan and Jen, how are you?
Very well. Thanks, Stephanie.
You know, they're just smiling, but they're really like, we have no time for your visit. But we are in, it's called the Old Schoolhouse Gluten-Free Gourmet. Have I got that right?
That's correct,
It's a long handle. And like Chris Cummings, they're backing away from me. Come on, I won't bite, I promise.
Okay.
I'll probably eat these though, because they look fantastic.
Help yourself.
But talk to me about this business, because it's such demand, award-winning stuff. How did it even start, Aidan?
I'm going to make a long story short. A few years ago, I started having some health issues, and in the process of finding out what my issues were, I discovered that I had celiac disease, so an allergy to gluten and wheat products. So in that process, we also decided that we wanted to open a business.
Yeah.
And
demand is growing. Holy
we kind of
cow.
fell into it,
Yeah.
and there's certainly a demand for it.
Right. Now gluten, I mean, for those of us playing the home game, it's in a lot of stuff, Jen.
It's in almost everything, especially everything that's processed.
Okay.
Yeah, wheat starch or gluten is used as a filler to actually bind things together. It's in bread what actually holds things together. So our biggest challenge is to try to figure out how to make those products work.
Right.
without the bind.
Right. I mean, you make pies and sell them by the dozens and dozens, and I'm thinking to myself, how without flour? You can't. It's a different kind of flour.
No question. We use a whole bunch of different kinds of flour, yeah, but anything that specifically wouldn't have wheat in it is our biggest thing. So it would be rice flours, flax flours, millet flour.
Okay, and am I right in saying that you're kind of like mad scientists then? Are you guys coming up with this stuff?
A little bit. There's a little bit of science involved, even more so than just regular baking, in that when you're moving into gluten-free foods, you can't really switch up a wheat flour one for one with a gluten-free flour. So for example, if I was making bread, I wouldn't just put in a white rice flour. What would happen is I would come out with a brick-like weapon, which is, the sawdust reference is pretty common for most people with gluten-free food, where it's dry, it doesn't taste good, and so on. So you have to do a mix of flours, definitely keep your moisture content up, and our aim has been to create food that you can't tell the difference, that it just tastes good, that it's healthy, it's locally produced.
Wow.
And it's gluten-free.
Very good. Okay, now tell me what you did to make this look fantastic.
These are mini baby apple tarts, and the aim with a small tart like this is for people who are on the run or don't want to have a whole pie for themselves, that they can still enjoy the seasonal favorites without feeling like they're left out. So
they're topless.
Yep, they are, and what that means is when we cook them out, is they get a little bit crunchy on top, but then the bottom part of the pie caramelizes just beautifully. So we've taken a valley apple from Hutton Family Farms in the valley. We cut them up, toss them in lemon and agave syrup.
Normally I would have a cup of flour in here, a quarter cup. If I was making a pie, you can't do that.
No,
Wow.
Exactly. So, if you did want to add a thickener, you can do, there are a couple of different ways that you could do it. Taking a little bit of potato starch or cornstarch, adding just a tiny little bit of water and making almost a slurry out of it, and then mixing that in with your apples will kind of do the same thing to thicken it up. What I do is I just keep the moisture content a little low, cook them out so it caramelizes, and that's how it
binds together stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, were you a chef before? What happened?
I wasn't a baker, actually, but I used to work in restaurants and in the film industry, did a lot of traveling around the world working as a hot food chef.
Okay.
But in the process
you were craft service.
Well, not craft.
Do you know anybody
I did
famous?
Catering.
Oh, so Monster.
Actual catering, yes,
wow.
So the big stuff. So, well, sure, I've met a few people along
Tell
the
me,
way,
drop some names.
Well, I don't know. Jeez.
He's met a lot of big. You can just tell just by, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We did have Gillian Anderson stopped by our booth at the Lunenburg Market last summer, which was
Were you
pretty
guys
sweet.
X-Files fans? Or?
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
How can you not be? Scully.
How did you even get here? That's the other side. I mean, I should really preface it all by saying I met these two. I accosted you two? No, I don't know. I forced myself upon them at an awards dinner where you guys did win. So congratulations on that.
Thanks
and
very much.
best small business.
New business of the year.
New business of the year, because I guess small probably doesn't cut it now. You guys are so big.
Well, I
no,
wouldn't say
I
we're
would-
big.
we're still small.
I'd say small but mighty would be the.
Indeed. Okay, very good. I find there's a great sense of community in Nova Scotia, and I would
absolutely.
imagine in your industry, especially considering how important local is to you guys in your business, you must have made some great friends.
Oh, no question. We're so privileged in our business to be a part of the farmers market and sort of be on that other side of food, where we get to meet all those people who make all these beautiful products and grow all this beautiful vegetables that we're able to use and then produce as secondary producers, and we just feel super privileged.
Where can we find your stuff?
We do 3 farmers markets. So one would be the Lunenburg Farmers Market on Thursdays. We do the hospital market on Friday at the VG Hospital. And then we do the Seaport Market in Halifax on Saturday, and now also Wednesday. They've added a new day.
Very good. All right, now here's
And then retail.
Yes.
I just did the first part.
Yeah,
that's all right. And so-
Sorry.
we also retail to a number of different high-end retailers in the HRM. For example, all the Pete's Boutique locations, the Perks Coffee locations, Planet Organic, Humanity Cafe.
guys are so in,
We're all
eh?
over the place.
Healthy
Yeah,
Bug.
we've also
Wow.
started shipping our stuff to the Kent Cooperative in New Minas, so that gives some gluten-free options
Wow.
for some folks on that side of the province who are really struggling, again, just being able to
Yeah.
access local fresh food.
I always would ask, are you vegetarian? Is there any concerns? But gluten-free was never anything that I really had on the top of my mind. What should I be thinking of?
Well, you should definitely, it's definitely a question you should ask your guests. So are they in fact gluten-free? They'll usually tell you.
Right.
Often it's interesting, at this time we have a whole sort of new group of clientele, just like yourself, who come up to our table and say, oh my gosh, I'm having a party and I'm just wondering what I can do. And what we often suggest is that actually just buying some of our cookies, if you're thinking about a sweet tray or some brownies, and just putting them in a freezer and then pulling them out when you need them, just like you would do all of your other baked
Right.
goods. But just that they would
Bacon and
be-
freezing. Have
Yeah.
you heard that? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, and then there's some other products that we have, for example, like the focaccia that you could use as a cracker or a dip, or like to make little pizzas. But we're also, anytime that we can help someone try to figure out how they can support others, that's great.
What's your best seller? Like, out of all of the things, what's flying off the shelves, would you say? Or is there a couple?
What would you say?
What's your favorite then?
I
How
mean,
about that?
The pumpkin muffin.
The pumpkin muffin,
Pumpkin
I
muffin?
think is probably our most popular item.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of a lot of products that compete with each other in terms of they are very popular, but I would say the pumpkin muffin kind of inches past. There are a few reasons for that. It's funny, you'd think a pumpkin muffin, how.
Why not? I love pumpkin. I
But
love
that's
the
just
sound of it.
It's nice and moist and
Yeah.
super flavorful. It's got a lot of spice, and for a lot of people, I think it's a nice way to start their day. It's also a naturally sweet product, so we don't actually put refined sugar in it. So again, for anyone who has diabetes, or again, just trying to really keep your refined sugar intake
Right.
down, it's a really great option.
So calories too are a good thing, right? You're saving
Exactly,
calories.
in a big way.
I'm
Absolutely.
going for the jolly look this season, but I should probably start eating gluten-free. That's
Well, you have to be careful now. A lot of gluten-free products, again, to make them taste good, what they often do is they actually add a lot of filler and, for example, sugar. So you have to be careful. A lot of people think that going gluten-free is actually healthier, but again, it goes back to those same principles of you really need to read your labels
Right.
and make sure that what you're buying is a healthy, fresh product that's using natural ingredients and natural products.
For anyone out there who's thinking of coming to Nova Scotia, anything you'd recommend they do? Like, besides coming to the old schoolhouse and picking up some awesome
on
gluten-
terms of a food experience,
well,
or just a Nova
anything,
Scotia
like, I don't know,
experience?
the beaches, or we're looking for inside scoop from you cool folk,
Oh,
like
my goodness.
parks or restaurants or coffee shops. What would
Well,
you?
I mean, I think, on a couple of points, being down here on the south shore of Nova Scotia, there's a tremendous amount to do. It's an outdoors person's paradise.
Yeah.
In terms of the amount of beaches that we have. One of our favorites is certainly Hurdles Beach.
Okay.
Which is down by Rose Bay and La Have. Beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous beach. Winter, summer, spring, or fall. It's
Yeah.
a lovely place to visit. And then in that same neck of the woods, sorry.
Oh, and just at the end of that beach, which is really great if you're a hiker, is Gaff Point. So not only can you enjoy this beautiful beach, is that then at the end of the beach, then you can go on another gorgeous hike, come back. We also used to forage for some mussels down there, have some mussels on the beach.
Oh my gosh.
And have a little fire.
Yeah.
And then definitely go to Trattoria della Nonna in Lunenburg.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
that would be that's how
Look
we
at
would
you,
finish
and you can
the
tell
day.
the way Jen is saying it. It's just like, I just can't wait till we can do that again. But right now you're just so darn busy that there's no downtime, is there?
That's
The
just
two
it.
of you, you're like, beat it.
Hopefully in the new year we'll get down there for a walk.
Oh, good.
It's a great place to be.
Well,
It's a
listen, we
beautiful
thank you
place.
so much for having us in today and giving a sneak peek and a little insight into the gluten-free diet. By all means, please come to the old Schoolhouse Gluten-Free Gourmet. You'll see these two smiling faces. And I'm going to eat, I think.
Well, I think we should.
Okay.
I think we should. Thanks for coming. Cheers.
Cheers.